Well, since I was a little bit tired of making videos at home, we are heading to the beach, because in this video I am telling you why I think the work and holiday visa is a scam. Because honestly, it's a little bit. So we're ready to start the video, and why not here? Reasons why I think the work and holiday visa it's a scam, because in my opinion is. It's kind of windy, but I think this microphone does a good job. So I will tell you the first reason, which is renting a house meanwhile you are in a work and holiday visa. So as I told you last week, I made a video about the house I am currently living in, and it's here if you want to check it out. The constant stress you are in trying to find the best deal, a house to live in, because as you probably already saw it, Australia has a big rental crisis right now, mainly in Sydney, but still all around Australia it's a big rental crisis. In the work and holiday visa, you will always trying to find a house, because you will probably travel a lot around the country, so you are constantly trying to find a house to live in, at least for a month or for 2 or 3 months in different places in Australia. With this rental crisis, the prices are very high sometimes. It's basically one more stress that you have to worry about basically every month. Actually, I can tell you right away, this is my 5th or 6th house since I arrived in the 26th of February. I've been living in an Airbnb for 15 days. The first 15 days I arrived to Sydney. Some friends borrowed us their house for 14 days, because we couldn't only go in 14 days after. So after getting our real house, and I made a video about that as well, it's here if you want to check it out, we had basically to stay in 2 houses before going to actually our house, which is crazy because we have a lot of bags, a lot of things to transfer from one place to another place. Honestly, it's a lot of things to worry about, and it's kind of annoying, to be honest. After living in DY, we moved to Cairns, where we stayed for 10 or 12 days, I can't really remember, but we didn't really like the city, and can happen to you as well. We didn't really enjoy the city, and one more time we moved again to Airlie Beach, and here we are in this house, and next week we are moving to the other house. In around 6 to 7 months we moved out 6 times, so it's crazy the amount of times you moved out from one place to another place. That's why sometimes it's kind of worth it to buy a van the first year you're here, and just live in a van and go around Australia freely without having to pay rent and in your car. I know having a van is not the same as living in a house, but still it's a very good thing to do in your first year in Australia, to be able to first of all travel around, and second of all to be able to afford a lot more things living here. Another thing is finding a job with a visa of a work and holiday and with the resident visa. Yes, you can do the small courses you needed to do, but if you are a resident, they will give you much more opportunities than if you are a work and holiday maker. This is a very negative side to people that are in the work and holiday visa, because, well, it will be so much harder to find a job here. As I told you in the other videos, I worked in Liquorland. It's not the dream job, but pay the bills. I was able to still doing a lot of YouTube, so I was very happy with the job I had. And as I told you in the last video, I'm working in an hotel close to my house, and honestly I really love it because my colleagues are amazing, my supervisors and manager are super chill, so I'm much better than I was in Sydney. I'm paying a lot less money here than in Sydney in rent and in groceries, so it's very good. Another big thing about trying to find a job in the big cities is sometimes they take a lot of advantage from you, because some people have very urgency to find a job and they will just pay you less because, well, you are desperate to find a job and they don't really care. So yeah, they take advantage of you, and that's a very bad thing in the big cities because they do this a lot of times. I told you this in the last videos and I tell you again, come prepared to Australia because nothing is perfect, and if you think 4,000 euros it's enough, bring the double or bring at least 50% more than the money you already saved, because believe me, when you arrive here, you'll spend a lot more money than you think. Talking about a very interesting topic, that is the 88 days or remote work in Australia. Recently, Australia included hospitality as a method of work that can be used for the 88 days. So luckily enough, I'm working in an hotel in Airlie Beach, which is a remote work here in Australia, and I'm able to do these 88 days of work legally. It doesn't need to be a farm work anymore, so you can do the 88 days of work in hospitality, in a bar, restaurant, reception, etc. So luckily I found a job in an hotel where I'm very happy, honestly, and I will be able to complete these 88 days of work. But this thing about the work and holiday, it's a very annoying part, because normally it's not that easy as it looks, and honestly I do not recommend you to arrive to the remote places just 88 days before your visa expires, because you'll be in a lot of trouble. I arrived 7 months before my visa expired, and well, I will be able to do it, but I had to arrive 7 months before my visa expired. So be precautious with the time, and my tip is arrive a little bit earlier, or in another case you will have even more stress. Another thing about the work and holiday visa is the money you spend even before arriving in Australia. Australian visas, immigration agencies, English tests, etc. You will spend a lot of money before even arriving to this country. And I can tell you right away, with the flights, with these Australian visas, and with everything included before arriving to Australia, I spent above 2,000 euros. So it's kind of crazy the money you spend before arriving in Australia. Don't get me wrong, I love this country. Australia is an amazing country. I love being here. But for some people, it's not even worth it to come here, because, well, they will spend more money than they will probably save. But the work and holiday visa is not just bad things. So that's why I am telling you reasons to come to Australia in a work and holiday visa. The first one is exploring a country the size of Europe. Yes, Australia is the size of Europe. One country is the size of more than 25 countries. Another good thing about this work and holiday visa is basically you will meet a lot of people from another countries are doing the same thing as you, so you will make a lot of connections and some friendships that will last forever, hopefully. So after all the things I just told you, is the work and holiday visa a scam? Well, in my opinion, yes, but no. And I can explain you why. Yes, because you spend a lot of money in the things I just told you, but no, because the experience you'll have, it's priceless. If you watched all my videos, you could see already I modeled in a super yacht. I was able to jet ski in the Great Barrier Reef. I swam with one of the biggest fish I've ever seen in my entire life, Georgie, which is kind of monument here. I have seen so many kangaroos as well, and so much more things I have to see, because I haven't seen koalas, I haven't seen crocodiles, and I want to see everything and to experience everything I can in this amazing country. So, is the work and holiday visa a scam? In terms of money, yes. In terms of experience, no. This country is worth it, every single cent you spend on it. In conclusion, is if you want to be scammed, at least be scammed in Australia. That's it, guys. And as always, see you soon next week.